Knowing everything you know about the first time I was going to propose, in that moment, would you have said yes? What up, y'all? Josh and EC here once again with another quality video.
So to me, this is our first official 2021 video.
The last video was just recordings of last year.
Yeah, that was technically last year type energy. If you saw the previous one, before this, we did a reveal of our getaway New Year's trip.
Which was sort of already revealed on Instagram. But it was more so just like, we're going to give you guys something.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we didn't want to film at all.
Yeah, we had a great time. We just want to enjoy our friends, the vacation. We never been to Colorado. Either way, go ahead and watch the video. I done said where we went. If you have not seen the video, go check it out after this one. But we did promise you guys a story time on Josh basically explaining what went wrong the first time he was planning on proposing to me back in December of 2019. Some people peeped in our engagement video that you had a clip in there that it said December 2019 when you had like asked my mom and stuff like that. If you haven't seen that video, you really behind. People were interested in knowing like, well, what went wrong? Like, why didn't you end up doing it? Blah, blah, blah. So we are gonna give you a story time today on the tea.
If you didn't already see, I personally explained my side of things on my personal YouTube channel, Hydrated Hero, which by the way is the new year and I will be posting on that very often.
We'll link his channel in the description box below.
But
you put more details into that one, you feel like?
I put a decent amount of detail into that, but I don't know, because like it would be nice to have your perspective.
Right, it was just your perspective.
It was just my perspective. Right. So now we're going to give you guys a joint perspective of what happened.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait. Y'all already know what time it is. If y'all haven't hit that like button, subscribe button, bell button, all that, are you really a part of quality?
Period.
Who knows? But either way, go ahead and do all that, and then after that, let's go ahead and get to this video. So we're gonna take this all the way back to November
2019. You came up with it in November and wanted to do it in December.
November 2019. Here's what happened. Here's what actually happened. So
okay, let's hear it.
This whole thing actually started transforming around. YouTube Black took place in what, October?
Yeah, that's like October.
YouTube Black took place early October.
I forgot. Okay.
Now
that inspired you?
What had happened there? What had happened there was I said to myself, for one, I want our YouTube channel to do better. And at that time, y'all, we were making like no money. Like
$300? We completely like
nothing.
Didn't really care that much. No shade to y'all, but we weren't on the same page with our channel, what we wanted the direction to be, like any of it.
No clue.
Yeah.
So YouTube Black hits. I come around some very influential YouTubers that inspire me to do more with the YouTube channel.
The men in particular.
Yeah,
who were a part of couples channels.
Yes, and they gave me a perspective because like y'all don't understand, but YouTube couples, men go through more than what you guys think. For those who don't understand what I mean by that, is basically me saying like in the social media realm of things, women usually get all the spotlight, headlight, and guys kind of just get like the, oh, you're there.
You're the cute boyfriend, you're the cute like side, like not side piece, but trophy. Almost like it's roles reversed instead of trophy wife. It's almost like,
it's like, yeah, I'm just like a nice face that's kind of like with who you came to see.
No.
Sort of thing.
That's what you guys.
That's what men feel like, especially a lot of the time because girls run social media and they'll normally hype up the woman.
Right.
And like for a long time, I felt like I was like either underappreciated or just like I'm just being dragged along for this.
Or whatever.
I felt like it was a whole lot of insecurities that took place. So after speaking with a bunch of influencer couple men, I started to realize, oh, I'm not alone. This isn't just uncommon to me specifically. This is just like a whole thing. This is just a trend. And I've learned to accept that, like, okay, I love her. She's beautiful. She's my flower. Like, she's amazing. So I put my pride, I had to take like a real pride shot and put my pride to the side.
In the past, you would say the trifecta. Like I had my thing, African Beauty. We had our thing, Beauty and Bow back then, turned into Josh and EC, and then you didn't establish Hydrated Hero, what your brand was. So he felt like he was the weak link of the trifecta. So we went through that process of like me trying to explain like when I win, you win. Like we're a team, we're a unit. But I do think you hearing it from males helped the perspective sink in a little bit more.
All that being said, there was a whole lot that took place before that. Maybe we can explain that in another video. Yeah. But right now we're just trying to just
give you guys background context. Okay. So you can understand.
Yeah, so that led into November, me saying like, yo, we're going hard.
Right.
So then, meanwhile, mind you, I'm still working at Papado. Yeah. But I was like,
were you a manager then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at that point, I was like, no, there's no looking back at this point. So it was a point in time where I was like working Papado, then coming back.
filming or editing. Yeah.
Somewhere in that point, I'd already had inklings and feelings about like I wanted to marry you before that. But around that same time, I had been personally stacking up money. And then on top of that, we were going hard on YouTube. There was a whole lot of things clicking between us. We were on a really good mode. We were in a really good phase. And then when the idea of Vlogmas coming up,
Vlogmas are 12 days.
It was the original conversation.
We were going to do Vlogmas. There was no way in hell.
There was no way. There was no way, y'all.
No, yeah.
After successfully completing Vlogmas this year,
right?
Looking back, there was no way I was going to work full time at Papado and get Vlogmas off.
It wasn't
not gonna happen. We had discussed Vlogmas first, and then we were like, no, there's no way that's happening. And then we said 12 Days of Christmas. And I was like, oh, that's super dope. For some reason, an epiphany in my head was like, 12 Days of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Like, one golden ring.
You're annoying.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, on the last day of Christmas, I was gonna like surprise you with a ring. I was like, this is the perfect setup, like 2-punch combo, everything she could have thought of. Great.
Now this is where my story kicks in.
That's where her story kicks in.
Cause I peeped things, y'all. Didn't know exact details, but this man, you know, I always claim this, us women, we have that gut intuition and feeling. We know when something is off with our partner, whether they're cheating or just, I knew he wasn't cheating, so I knew him moving funny and different than his typical pattern meant he was up to something, which was more than likely gonna propose. And like, I will never forget the day, I don't know what month this is, you're remembering months well, but when you were texting Patrell.
That was in December and I was blown.
Okay, so we were at my mom's house. And Josh and Patrell were texting. Y'all met Patrell and Michaela during Vlogmas, and you've seen them a couple times. So he was texting Patrell, and me and him aren't the type to like check each other's phone or anything like that, or look at each other's phone, but sometimes we'll just glimpse over each other's shoulder just for the hell of it, right? So I went over, because you were talking to my mom in the kitchen. I came down and you were in your phone. He wasn't involved in the conversation at all, which usually you'll chime in every once in a while. But I'm like, what got his attention like this? So I go over to your phone, and he like quickly...
I just turned it off.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, we never do that with each other. So that was strike one of like, why your pattern changing like that? And then you refused to tell me what it was. All he ended up basically saying was like, I can't tell you right now. I will tell you like soon.
I love you to death.
Yeah,
I'm not for the streets.
Right, like. Something like that. And then that same day, you had ended up like losing your wallet or something and your driver's license. And I remember we were in the living room with my mom, and you were trying to figure out like, what did you need to do to get a new one or whatever. And we were suggesting you look on Google to blah blah blah. As soon as you, and I'm chilling next to him. As soon as you opened your phone, it opened to the website. I guess you were looking at for rings.
No, it was. I opened it up and it was Facebook, and Facebook had put a whole ad of a ring.
But I pretended not to see it, y'all,
because
I didn't want him to. So like when I saw that, and I think that you ended up like dropping me off home because you maybe went to work, and I stayed back with my mom, and that's when I started freaking out. Like, Mom, I think he's gonna propose soon. Blah blah blah. I saw this. Blah blah blah. Like it was insane.
Right when that hit, I knew my cover had been blown. I actually went to work that day and I was like, guys, I blew my cover.
So that was one flag. Some other stuff happened over time too, of like randomly he would come home and be like, am I the man that you think is ready to be your husband? Or just like really weird, corny questions.
The question was...
What was the question?
The question was, what are the qualities you look for in a husband?
Right.
I feel like I could ask that question whenever.
But random, baby.
It was too random. That was the problem. I didn't segue.
And I asked him, I was like, where'd that question come from? And you said something like Patrell was
I thought I had a good excuse for that. I was like, me and Patrell were talking about it. And I was like, yo, me and Cheryl was chopping it up. And he was like, you know, sometimes... I feel like I lack some of the qualities I need to be a husband. I was like, oh, that's a perfect
So he really did say that?
No. That was my backstory.
Bruh, I just knew, like, everything was just off. And then, okay, I don't know if I'm going past where your story is at.
Okay, no, you're good right there. Okay. So that's like beginning of December type energy. And then I was telling them in the video, like on my channel, that I had made a couple calls.
Right. Oh, okay, so you do that, and then that was something else that was a red flag that dinged for me.
So I was making some calls, and I ended up calling my mother and my father. Both of them were pretty cool about it. They were like, yo, okay, cool. Now, mind you, from their perspective, I probably didn't put in nearly the amount of thought that I needed. So their initial thought was like, so this is your first time thinking about it, and you're gonna do it in like 3 weeks?
Right.
Like, there was no preparation behind it, but they were like, you know how parents will be like supportive, but you can kind of feel the energy, like, I don't know if you're ready.
Right.
Obviously, my mom and my dad are very religious, so I mean, they gave me like preach talks, like, you know, have you talked to God about it? But like, my dad had made it very prominent in my head, because I think the first thing he said was like, congrats, first of all, congrats. Have you talked to God about it? And I was like, I have, but it was like an elevator conversation with God. Like, it was like damn near like a 30-second, like, yo, God,
this is what I'm gonna do.
This is what I'm gonna do, God.
Right.
So this is how it's gonna go, and hopefully you got my back. That's not how, this is really not how God works. So I wouldn't recommend that for anybody. He's just gonna laugh at you. So then, like, it did raise a red flag in my head, and I was like, dang, maybe I do need to pray over this or whatnot and third. And I did start praying over it. And sure enough, everybody around me starts getting cold feet for me.
So let me tell them, part of my story ties into why everybody started hitting you up like that. Josh, he doesn't, I don't want to say you don't talk to your parents often, but you don't. So that was a little like different pattern in the sense where you were calling, you wanted to call both of them in the same week, and you took the phone calls in the basement.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was weird.
Left
yes, we never leave the house or his apartment to go talk to anybody on the phone, especially a parent. So I'm like, that's weird. And then when you came back, well, I later found out. Maybe you can tell them. I won't mess up the story. But I remember Michelle and Patrell came over to hang out. You and Patrell were on the balcony, and I was talking to her in here, and I basically told her, like, I've been peeping this, I've been peeping that. I think he's about to do it soon, blah, blah, blah. And I remember telling her, too, like, because you kept saying, like, around Christmas, you were just acting real funny, and I did not want to share my engagement with, like, any holidays, my birthday, like, anything like that. So I wasn't gonna like the Christmas one for sure. And I also, I remember your energy changed so much. It was maybe like a week or two before Christmas, and because I had started kind of peeping things, and I felt like you were gonna do it, I just wanted to reestablish my requirements. Remember?
Yes.
So
and
I was
when
like,
you did that,
yeah, and I was like, I wanted a photographer or a videographer and blah, blah. I will say, I said I wanted my hair, make sure my nails and hair is done. I don't think that's unreasonable, but I will say, ladies, maybe my advice that I would have probably done things differently now, knowing I wouldn't have put so much stress on you in terms of what I wanted my requirements to be. Like, in particular, I really wanted that moment on film, right? And it wasn't even just me being an influencer. I love memories like that, but that did make your job a lot harder to make that happen
without you knowing.
Right. That's a whole nother thing, though, because our actual engagement was that's maybe a different story time.
That's a whole different
one. We're just talking about the first one.
Right. Now, built off what you, like, after that conversation, I was...
Yeah, his whole mood changed.
Like,
when I was
in
like,
that
remember
conversation,
I said I wanted this and blah, blah, blah. And I could just see his face slowly changing, like, oh, shit, I don't have any of that ready.
Yeah.
But I needed to remind you.
Yeah.
I felt like I could, if you was really about that life, like it seemed like you were, I was like, let me just make sure this man remembers everything that because the last time we had a talk like that was like a year prior.
Technically, I was gonna have it on camera. It was just gonna be on.
He was gonna have a tripod. If y'all go back to the 12 days of Christmas we did in 2019, that final day when we opened our Christmas presents here, that's how he was gonna propose.
No, it was gonna be
this tripod, this camera's on right now.
It's gonna be better than that.
And the camera wasn't even this good.
It was gonna be better than that.
Boo boo, bro, boo boo. And you know what else? During 12 days of Christmas, I think we did an eat and chill about like not liking each other's Christmas gifts. Yeah. And I remember even then you were giving yourself away. We just know each other too well because we were best friends first. So like you were saying, yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of gifts for you this year. It's gonna be this type of gift and this type of gift. Like you were saying, a sentimental gift and a blah blah blah. And I'm like, this man is proposing. I knew it. I knew it, baby. I knew it. You're so pretty. Did you just lick me?
I gave you my bottom lip. But look, all right. So after you had that conversation with Shayla, sure enough, the next day
she hit you up.
Shayla and Dom have a 3-way call with me.
Besties got on him, y'all.
She knows abort. I'm like,
I did know.
And in my head, I was like, no. But that conversation took place before we had your reaffirming your requirements talk.
Oh, so they told you to abort before
They told me to abort before we had that one.
Yep.
And I ghosted them for 3 days.
Oh.
I was like, all right.
They did tell me they did, after the engagement, everything, maybe like a month or so ago, we finally had a talk of like all that I didn't know during this process. And they were like, your man was mad at us for a while.
I was pissed. You seen in the engagement video, Michelle and Dom.
Yeah.
They pissed me off. They really pissed me off that year. I was hurt. I was like,
yeah,
no
I think
way.
You're more hurt than.
I was like, no way. No way. Like, they're telling me this. I'm sitting in the car with the ring in my hand, just looking at the ring like, I can't even do it.
That was another thing.
And the ring, y'all, the ring was gold.
Okay, so some of this is my fault too. That's what I'm saying, ladies. For the most part, I did have to learn through this experience. The engagement, my mom explained it perfectly to me and it really clicked. Like, the engagement is more so the man. That's like your thing that you do as your sign or token of love to us. So we don't have that much, we shouldn't be having that much control or opinions on what the engagement should really be. Because at the end of the day, let's be real, ladies are majority of the one who puts together the wedding. Most of the time, the man or the groomsman just kind of like, okay, babe, you want that, you know? So that put things in perspective for me when my mom was like, that was his thing for you. So you shouldn't be so nitpicky about stuff, basically. And I was saying all that to say, because I had told Josh, 1 minute I wanted a chocolate diamond. Next minute I was like, oh, ring. I love wearing gold jewelry, so I think I'm gonna want a gold ring with like, you know, a stud or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then I ended up saying like, oh, I just want something really unique. I want something that not a lot of people have or whatever. And it turned out this is the perfect ring for me. But either way, I do remember you ended up showing me the ring that you originally got.
Yeah, I tried
after
to
the cat
show
was
them.
out the bag.
I tried to show them, but I couldn't find the picture no more.
Oh yeah, after the cat was out the bag, I think me and you I don't know how we ended up having that talk one day, and it felt like it was like around February for some reason.
Yeah, and I was like, you want to see it?
Yeah, we just started talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I knew this, blah, blah, blah. And then he ended up showing me it, and I didn't like it. I wouldn't have liked it. So everything kind of worked out the way it needed to anyway, like but we had a very unorthodox engagement journey.
Because that first time, the first way around, man.
Maybe emotionally, yeah, you were
ready. Financially, probably not ready.
Yeah.
Maturity wise, probably not ready. And the amount of planning and effort, regardless of what you had to say about what went down with like the engagement and stuff like that, in that point in time, I can look back and say, I didn't give enough energy to it.
I just wanted to get it done.
Honestly, I think like most guys, like a lot of guys, they tend to just be like, yeah, once I get to that point of asking, I just want to get out the way. I'm not finna sit on this, not dwell on it. I'm gonna just get out the way. And I've seen, trust me, working at Papa Dough, I've seen a lot of half booty massages for balls. Man, they've been interesting to say the least.
And I think too, my girls were on that with you because they
know what type of time you on.
I'm hopeful, romantic. Yeah. So like being engaged, getting married is one of the things that I've always like been excited about or aspired for as a little girl type thing, right? So that moment was super important to me.
The real question is,
what?
If I would have done it
the way you did, the way you planned to in December, I still would have said yes, but we would have went through some emotional stuff because I wouldn't have liked how it was done. I didn't like that it was on the holiday. I wouldn't have liked that. I didn't really care for the ring. So
you would have said yes, but you would have been very upset.
I wouldn't say very upset. At the end of the day, our relationship is far beyond materialism. So that wouldn't have, seeing a ring that I didn't care for or you doing it in a setting that I didn't care for would have never stopped me or prevented me from saying yes to you on some Lifetime stuff. We're on some Lifetime stuff over here. So I would have been disappointed, but at the end of the day, at the core of the situation, I know that I'd be marrying an amazing man, so.
But like, here's my thing though. Yeah. Even if you didn't like the ring, I would pray that you didn't spare my feelings because I can always upgrade it. I can always get you another one. It's not.
This ring or that ring?
No, that ring.
Right.
So like, but you said that even if I did do it that way, you'd have just said, oh yeah.
Yeah, I would have played it off for a little while. Eventually, we talk about everything. So I think eventually and naturally in some conversation or Sunday reflection, it might have came up. But I wouldn't have, because regardless of you feeling like I don't need to spare your feelings, if you truly love somebody, that's just naturally what you do. You're not gonna try to hurt their feelings or, you know, I'm never unappreciative or ungrateful. I wasn't raised like that. So I would have never shaped my mouth to be like, it's just not me at all. Yeah, but I am happy with how things played out though.
I'm really happy with the
actual proposal turned out way better than what was gonna happen.
Light years better
yeah.
than what was happening before.
Although this proposal has a little tea with it too.
That proposal
eventually we might touch on it or do a story time.
Ooh, comment below if you want a story time.
Comment below if y'all want.
Because there was some tea in that second one.
There is some tea.
There is tea.
Yeah. This whole engagement has been very different than what I anticipated, like as a kid or whatever, what I thought this process would be like. But it has nothing to do with like us though, which is the crazy thing. It's been outside factors. Nonetheless. Super happy, super grateful, super blessed to be with an amazing young man like
your hands wet, damp, or cold.
Don't even do all of that.
Don't
even do all of that.
I just felt nothing but moisture. Down my face.
Yeah, you need some anyway. Is that all of it?
That's all we got.
Oh, the last thing was that you weren't on the phone with your dad in the basement. You were on the phone with Michelle and Don, from what I heard. Because you came back up and your energy was off, and I'm like, weren't you just asking your dad how he's doing? Like, why are you sad?
No. I had talked to my dad, but that occasion when I came back up upset, I had lied and said it was my dad. It was Don and Michelle telling me to abort, and I was pissed. And I was like, nah, forget y'all. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. And then, sure enough, like 2-3 days later, you had that reassurance talk of like, just reconfirming all the stuff that we discussed.
Oh, so that was kind of like your sign of like.
And then I was, in my head, I thought way more. I was like, well, maybe Dom and them told her to tell me that.
No, they didn't tell me anything.
I just thought everybody was against me. I was over it. I was over it.
Nobody was against you, babe.
I asked God for a sign and he literally turned everybody against me.
Stop it.
That's how I know the second time around everything was great.
Yeah, because everybody was like, yeah, go
everyone was
for
like, yeah, totally, yeah.
Yeah, rock on.
Do it, yeah, get married. But yeah, that was not the reaction I got the first time around. As a matter of fact, it was more so crickets than anything. Every time I said it to somebody, they were like, oh.
Right. And I always told Josh to make sure that you get my best friend's input and make sure that they help you with the process. Because I did that for Michelle and Petrell. I was there the whole way for
help with the process too.
Yeah.
Josh is very
prideful.
I told them my plan. They were like, great. What's all this other stuff? I said, oh, I'm going to get the ring tomorrow. I already got it picked out.
The other ring.
Yeah, the other one. I already got it picked out.
Josh has always been like, I wouldn't even call it pride. It is kind of prideful. Just in the sense where you want to do everything on your own. You don't want it to seem like anybody helped at all. You want to be able to say, Josh did this.
I got it.
Yeah. And I think your ego, it's more so ego than pride.
Yeah.
I think your ego was in the way that first time around.
It's okay. God straightened me out real quick.
Period.
Straighten me out and set me right on my way. Baby, like, turn me around, give me a smack on the butt and say, you gotta go the right way, buddy.
And then you waited almost a whole another year
through a pandemic.
For proposing
again. It was gonna happen earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When?
Probably like March.
Really?
I was gonna give it like a month or two for you to be like off my trail, whatever. But then after that, everybody was in the know that I wanted to do it.
Yeah, including me.
Yeah.
But we it's not like we never discussed marriage or like anything. And I had a feeling for some reason it was gonna happen in 2020. So I was like, well, we make 5 years in 2020. 2020 itself, the numbers very,
Yeah.
I just assumed that it was gonna be in 2020 anyway. But you was trying to put it on and make him want to marry me a year earlier than that, huh? Oh, I still gotta do that TikTok. Put it on and make him want to marry me.
All right, y'all. That's all we got for today. If you don't already... Is it focused? It feels like it's not focusing. But yeah, that's all we got for today. Be on the lookout for more content because we are coming with that quality all 2020.
Oh my gosh. So excited.
Is it 2021?
It is 2021.
It's a new year, y'all. New year, same love, but a different kind of quality.
Y'all aren't ready for what we got coming this year. That's all I got to say.
And we ain't even moved yet.
We ain't moved yet. Our merch stuff hasn't launched yet. All the other stuff we got going on. I just hope y'all are ready for this journey. I hope y'all got your post notifications turned on every platform that we are on.
All the way up.
Y'all aren't gonna want to miss any of it. But that's all we have for you guys.
That's all we got for today, y'all. But if you don't already know, I'm Hydrated Hero. She's Happy and Beauty. Together with Josh and EC. Now you can follow one of us. You can follow two of us. You can follow all three of us. You might as well follow all three of us because we are happy, healthy, and hydrated on all three. But other than that, y'all, until we meet again, peace, love,
head grease, and we out. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay. Peace.
Peace. Love. Hey.
Hair grease.
Hey. We out.
Show me one more time.
Peace.
Hey. Love. Hey. Hair grease. Hey. We out. Right there.
Right there. I'm looking at it. Subscribe. You want to click that button.
You know you
click it.
Also, check this video out right here. You might as well.
That's quality.
Quality.
Right
quality
there.
content.
That's quality.
And
of course,
you might as well be right here.
You might as well be
right there.
Because this one's quality too. All this
quality.
You click anything you want.
Quality.